Indoor plants don't have to feel like another chore on your to-do list, and honestly, most of us want greenery that thrives without constant attention. So today, I'm breaking down the top indoor plants that actually pull their weight with almost zero fuss. These are the ones that handle low light like champs, bounce back if you forget a watering or two, and still look good year-round. Whether you're busy, forgetful, or just not naturally gifted with plants, these guys are practically built for you. Think of them as low-maintenance roommates that don't complain. I'll walk you through what makes each one so reliable and why they're perfect for any home. By the end of this, you'll know exactly which plants to grab if you want effortless indoor greenery that still makes your space look cared for. Let's jump in. Peonies aren't usually the first plant people think of for easy indoor care, but dwarf and indoor-friendly varieties have become surprisingly popular because they can handle a bit of neglect while still giving you that classic, full-petal look. They grow best with bright indirect light and need only moderate watering, usually once the top inch of soil dries out, which fits perfectly into a low-maintenance routine. A well-draining potting mix keeps the roots healthy, and they're far less demanding than most assume, especially when grown in containers that control moisture. What makes them even more appealing is how long the blooms last indoors compared to many flowering plants, often holding their shape and fragrance for up to a week. It's the kind of plant that gives you a high-end, elegant vibe without asking you to babysit it, making it a surprisingly solid pick for anyone who wants beautiful indoor color with minimal effort. Peace lilies are one of those plants that make you look like you know exactly what you're doing even if you forget about them for days, and that's why they're a staple for low-maintenance homes. They thrive in low to medium light, which means they'll sit happily in a corner where most plants would give up, and they only need watering when the leaves start to droop slightly, basically giving you a built-in reminder system. A loose, well-draining soil mix keeps them stress-free, and they're known for filtering indoor air surprisingly well, with studies showing they can reduce certain pollutants by up to 60%. What really makes them stand out is how consistently they bounce back from underwatering, looking sad in the morning and perked up by evening, making them one of the most forgiving plants you can keep indoors. Alocasia Azlanii looks like the kind of plant that demands constant attention, but surprisingly, it settles into a low-maintenance routine once it adjusts to your home. Its thick, glossy, deep purple leaves naturally hold moisture, meaning it doesn't need frequent watering, usually once the top couple of inches of soil feel dry is enough. It prefers bright, indirect light but can tolerate medium light without losing its color, making it flexible for apartments or rooms without perfect lighting. A chunky, well-aerated soil mix keeps the roots happy, and because it's a slow grower, it doesn't need repotting often. What makes it even easier is how well it handles short dry spells thanks to its semi-succulent leaf structure, giving you that dramatic tropical look without demanding high-maintenance care. Ginseng Ficus is one of those plants that instantly looks like a tiny tree you've owned forever, yet it barely asks for anything in return, which makes it perfect for a low-maintenance setup. Its thick, swollen trunk stores water like a reservoir, so it stays healthy even if you forget a watering or two, usually needing a drink only when the top inch of soil dries out. It handles bright to medium indirect light without fuss, and its sturdy, oval leaves aren't prone to dropping unless severely overwatered, making it more forgiving than most bonsai-style plants. A simple, well-draining potting mix keeps it thriving, and its slow, steady growth means you won't be repotting or pruning constantly. What makes it even better is how naturally it adapts to indoor humidity levels, giving you that miniature tree aesthetic with almost zero daily effort. Philodendron pink princess might look high maintenance with those bright pink variegated patches, but it's actually one of the easiest statement plants you can keep indoors. It thrives in medium to bright indirect light, and unlike many variegated plants, it doesn't throw a fit if the light isn't perfect, holding its color surprisingly well. Watering is simple, just wait until the top inch or two of soil dries, and its thick, hardy stems help it bounce back if you forget here and there. A chunky aeroid mix keeps the roots breathing, and because it's a naturally steady grower, you won't be repotting it constantly. What really makes it low maintenance is its resilience. It tolerates indoor humidity swings, resists most common pests, and grows new leaves consistently even with a casual care routine, giving you that designer look without the designer-level effort. African violets have a reputation for being picky, but once you set them up right, they're honestly one of the easiest flowering plants to maintain indoors. They thrive in bright, indirect light and can even bloom under basic LED grow bulbs, giving you consistent color without complicated care. Watering is simple, keep the soil lightly moist but never soggy, and they actually prefer bottom watering, which makes it harder to overdo it and keeps their fuzzy leaves spotless. A loose, airy soil mix helps their shallow roots stay healthy, and they're perfectly happy in small pots for long stretches, meaning very little repotting. What really makes them low maintenance is how frequently they rebloom with minimal effort, often producing flowers for 10 to 12 months a year, turning even a beginner's windowsill into a cheerful, steady display without constant work. Prayer plants look fancy with their moving leaves, but day-to-day care is way easier than people think, making them a solid pick for a low-maintenance indoor plant. They handle medium light just fine, so you don't need a bright window to keep them happy, and their watering needs are pretty simple. Keep the top inch of soil slightly moist, and they'll reward you with those signature nighttime leaf movements. A light, airy potting mix helps avoid root issues, and they tolerate typical indoor humidity far better than their reputation suggests, especially newer cultivars that are more forgiving. What really makes them easy is how quickly they bounce back from minor neglect, often recovering in just a day or two if the leaves droop, turning into a plant that looks high effort even though it fits right into a relaxed, low-maintenance routine. Money trees are the definition of low maintenance because their thick, braided trunks actually store water, so they stay healthy even if you forget watering for a week or more. They adapt easily to medium or bright indirect light, which means they'll sit happily in living rooms, offices, or bedrooms without demanding premium window space. Watering is simple. Just wait until the top few inches of soil dry out, and a well-draining mix keeps the roots from staying too wet. They're slow, steady growers, so you won't be repotting often, and they handle normal indoor humidity without any fuss. What really makes them ideal for minimal maintenance homes is their resilience. They resist pests better than most houseplants and can bounce back quickly from occasional neglect, all while giving your space that lush, tropical feel with almost no effort. Cordyline looks like a dramatic, high-energy plant with its bold, colorful foliage, but it's surprisingly low maintenance once you give it a stable spot indoors. It handles bright to medium indirect light easily, and many varieties stay vibrant without needing constant sun, making them perfect for living rooms or offices. Watering is straightforward. Keep the soil slightly moist but let the top inch dry between waterings, and its thick, cane-like stems help it tolerate short dry spells without stress. A well-draining potting mix keeps the roots healthy, and it rarely needs repotting thanks to its slow, upright growth habit. What makes Cordyline especially easy is how well it adapts to typical household humidity and how resistant it is to pests, giving you that striking, tropical look with only occasional watering and basic care. Monstera Esqueleto may look exotic with its dramatic, skeleton-like leaf fenestrations, but it's shockingly low maintenance once it settles into your home. It thrives in medium to bright indirect light, and unlike many rare monsteras, it doesn't demand perfect conditions to keep those big cutouts forming. Watering is easy. Just let the top couple inches of soil dry out before giving it a drink, and its thick, sturdy stems help it ride out the occasional missed watering without dropping leaves. A chunky aeroid mix keeps it aerated and happy, and because it grows at a steady, manageable pace, you won't need to repot it often. What really makes it great for minimal maintenance homes is how adaptable it is to normal indoor humidity and how quickly it rebounds from minor stress, giving you that collector-level tropical vibe without the high-maintenance lifestyle. Lucky bamboo is one of the easiest plants you can keep indoors because it's incredibly adaptable and barely asks for anything. It grows well in low to medium light, meaning it'll stay healthy even in spots where most houseplants would struggle, like offices or dim corners. You can grow it in water or soil, and if you choose water, the only real maintenance is swapping it out every couple of weeks to keep it fresh, no worrying about overwatering or soil issues. Its sturdy, cane-like stalks store moisture, helping it stay resilient if you forget about it for a bit. What really makes Lucky bamboo a low-maintenance favorite is how tough it is. It shrugs off indoor temperature changes, resists pests, and keeps growing slowly but steadily, giving your space a calm, zen-like look with almost zero effort. Adenium, often called desert rose, looks like a plant that would demand constant attention, but it's actually built for low-maintenance living thanks to its thick, swollen caudex that stores water like a tank. It thrives in bright indirect light and can even handle a bit of direct sun indoors, which keeps its growth compact and its blooms vibrant. Watering is incredibly simple. Let the soil dry out completely between waterings, sometimes for a week or more, because adeniums prefer drier conditions and hate sitting in moisture. A gritty, fast-draining soil mix keeps the roots healthy, and its slow growth means you won't be repotting it often. What makes it especially easy is its natural drought tolerance and pest resistance, giving you those bold, sculptural branches and striking flowers with almost no day-to-day effort. Perfect for anyone wanting a dramatic plant that practically cares for itself. And that wraps up our list of indoor plants that practically take care of themselves. If you've been wanting greenery without the daily stress, any one of these picks will slide right into your routine and make your space feel calmer, brighter, and a whole lot more alive. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and if you found this helpful, make sure to hit subscribe, drop a like, and leave a comment about which plant you're bringing home next. It really helps the channel grow, and I'd love to hear what you're adding to your indoor jungle.